Hey, what's going on, guys? Wildebeest Productions, and today I'm going to be doing a video on the Launchpad MK2 and the Novation Launchkey Mini, a comparison video, basically strengths and weaknesses of the two MIDI controllers. And yeah, I'm really sorry about the late video. I really apologize for that, but you know, I just was stuck with all the crap that life brings and couldn't make it out, couldn't make the video, couldn't get it out to you guys. I really apologize for that. But I also wanted to give a big shout out to Parker Dwyer. I believe that's how you pronounce your name. I'm sorry if I didn't get it, but he requested this video, and I really want to thank you for the wait. I know 3 weeks is a long time, and I really appreciate you not giving up, and you know, just thank you. So yeah, I'm gonna start this video out. Thank you guys for watching. So the first thing about these two controllers is they're very different. As you can see, one is a part piano with pads, and one is just pads. So I think I'm gonna go ahead and start with the Launchpad, just because, I don't know, people seem to know a little bit more about the Launchpad, so go ahead and inform them. So basically it has 64 RGB, which are basically color changing LEDs, which they emit light emitting diode, and there's 8 rows of them, an 8x8 grid, and you know, I don't need to explain that, everybody knows that. So basically you have your track buttons, so you can move left here. Let me zoom in for you guys. Alright, so you can move left, right, simply by pressing them. You can move your scene either this way or that way to get more room. Sorry about that. More room either way. And then you can also move it up or down depending on which part of your track or which part of your project you want to see. And then right there, if I zoom in even more, it'll focus. Okay, you have your session button, which is basically you press that, that's your set. And then you have user 1, which when you have user 1 enabled, you can I gotta cut that shit out. Huh? I'm trying to make a video and you're just coming like that. Oh god, man. Alright, so getting right into it. Today I'm gonna be showing you guys a look at the two MIDI controllers. So instinctively I'm just going to go with the Launchpad first. Not that I don't like the Launchkey, I love that thing. I probably use it more than this, but people just seem to know this better. Like, oh look, a Launchpad, let's learn about that, you know? So basically it's a 8x8 grid of programmable buttons or LEDs that you can change the color, and you can also assign them effects. You can assign them effects, different clips, MIDI, so you can get like different functions performed from every single one of the pads. And yeah, that's it. You can also assign audio, that kind of stuff. And this is my pointer pen to point to the buttons. So looking up at the top row, we have our up button, which will move your whole session up to get more room. Down, you can move it down to get more room or access something that's below the page of the Launchpad. Left to access left and get more room on the right, and right to get more room on the left to make your scenes. And yeah, that's it for this part. And then we have our session button. You press that, and that basically will get you to your project, which is where all the audio and the MIDI will be located. And then you have user 1 right here, and user 1 basically is the button that you would press to view your drum racks, to assign like individual sounds. So if I wanted to assign a key right here and a clap and a kick right there, then I could do that, but I would press this one time versus hitting session and playing that in a loop. So instead of hitting this in session and going do 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 do, I would hit user 1 and I would just go do do, or do. However, so it would be like do, you know what I mean? So something like that. So I like user one, but session is more for recording like longer things. This is just for like coming up with something, throwing stuff together, and yeah. And then you have user two, which is basically the same thing, but I don't really know the difference between the two. I only really ever use user one. So next is our mixer, which basically with your mixer you can go ahead and press your mixer, and then you have all of these, which are, let me zoom out a little bit more. I'll just go through the list right now. You have, once you press on mixer, it'll bring you to a menu, which is your volume, so you can press on volume and control different volumes for each of your tracks on the pad. So here, let me go plug this in and show you what I'm talking about. Okay, so this is the UK Tech House project that I did. I made a video on that, and that's Parker Dwight. He saw that video and commented. Thank you again. So now I'm gonna go ahead and show you guys the session. You can go ahead and hold it on your session, and you can, if you have different like MIDIs that you want to control, you can go ahead and switch between. Alright, so getting right into it, today I'm gonna be showing you guys a look at the two MIDI controllers. So instinctively I'm just gonna go with the Launchpad first. Not that I don't like the Launchkey, I love that thing. I probably use it more than this, but people just seem to know this better. Like, oh look, a Launchpad, let's learn about that, you know? So basically it's a 8x8 grid of programmable buttons, or LEDs, that you can change the color, and you can also assign them effects. You can assign them effects, different clips, MIDI, so you can get like different functions performed from every single one of the pads. And yeah, that's it. You can also assign audio, that kind of stuff. And this is my pointer pen to point to the buttons. So looking up at the top row, we have our up button, which will move your whole session up to get more room. Down, you can move it down to get more room or access something that's below the page of the Launchpad. Left to access left and get more room on the right, and right to get more room on the left to make your scenes. And yeah, that's it for this part. And then we have our session button. You press that, and that basically will get you to your project, which is where all the audio and the MIDI will be located. And then you have user one right here, and user one basically is the button that you would press to view your drum racks, to assign like individual sounds. So if I wanted to assign a key right here and a clap and a kick right there, then I could do that, but I would press this one time versus hitting session and playing that in a loop. So instead of hitting this in session and going do 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 do, I would hit user one and I would just go do do, or do 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 do. However, so it would be like do do do, you know what I mean? So something like that. So I like user one, but session is more for recording like longer things. This is just for like coming up with something, throwing stuff together, and yeah. And then you have user two, which is basically the same thing, but I don't really know the difference between the two. I only really ever use user one. So next is our mixer, which basically with your mixer you can go ahead and press your mixer, and then you have all of these, which are, let me zoom out a little bit more. I'll just go through the list right now. You have, once you press on mixer, it'll bring you to a menu, which is your volume, so you can press on volume and control different volumes for each of your tracks on the pad. So here, let me go plug this in and show you what I'm talking about. Okay, so I have the UK Tech House project loaded up, and that was one of my videos that was posted before the floating project, which I made, which was music, wasn't really project. But anyways, so you can see in here, I'm pressing the, go ahead and zoom in a little for you. I'm pressing the right arrow, and it's moving my whole project right, and then I can press the left arrow to move it back to where it was. I can press down, move my whole project down, and then up, move the whole project up again. So that's really cool. And then you have your session, which you can, if you have more than one controller, I believe you can just press it and it'll move throughout the thing, so you can control. You can go from Launchpad to whatever else you might have. I don't know a whole lot about that, but yeah, I believe that's what you can do. So moving on to user 1, like you said, you go into user 1 and then you can assign different things. So if I wanted to have like a note, like a key right here, and then, sorry about that, right, and then a note right here, and then like a clap and a kick, I could do that. But instead of having it loop, I could have individual. So I could hit the key, doom, and then press the kick, doom, 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 doom. You know what I mean? So it's like that. And then user 2 is the same, I believe, but might be a little bit different. I'm not sure about user 2, but that's for user 1. And then I'm gonna zoom out for you guys. Okay. Now we're gonna go to, sorry, tripod's a little wobbly. Go to our mixer, and you see, whoa, it lights up. So like I said, the first thing you can do is your volume, so you can control the volume just by touching it. So you can bring it real down low for each and every track. So if you need to balance out your volumes, you can make a cool little like waveform, something like that. If you need to have your volume set so that doesn't go over the limit. And then you can go to your pan, which this is in even pan right now. You can move it up or down to mess with the audio quality, but I don't usually do any of that. You could like turn it on like this, and then like move it to here, and then like move it back. I don't know. Just go ahead and mess with that. And then you have send A, which I don't know why it stopped working for me, and so did send B. But send A is basically the same thing, but it goes in an upscale, just like this, like a right triangle, and it controls reverb. So the more higher you have on the channels, the more echoey effect it would be. And then send B, I believe, is like delay. So the higher up you go, the more it'll stutter. So if you have like a regular drum loop, and you have one of those all the way up, it'll go like that. Sorry, I know that sounds horrible, but I'm not a beatboxer. And then you have your stop button right here, which means you can automatically stop any of the tracks that are going just by pressing these. And you can stop all tracks by hitting that red button right there. It'll stop all the tracks. And then you have your mute, which means you can mute different tracks. So you see it'll turn down the shade a little bit, and let's go ahead and turn them all back on. See, just like that. And then you can mute them, so if you want to just mute drums and then go to another drum, you can do that. And then you have your solo, which means you can solo a certain thing. So if you have like a whole song going and you want to just solo the drums for a sec, you press that, doom, 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 and let go, and then the whole thing starts playing again. And then you have your record arm, which basically means it'll bring a bar of different things you can do if you have your preferences set up right, which I could go over in another video of how to record your song. So basically in any of the rows I could pick just random that one, and then go to my session, and you'll see the bar that runs across. You could press any of the red ones to trigger that, and then it'll record the MIDI, the audio from these. And the audio quality is quite good, actually. So I'm going to go ahead and just exit out of that. And then, what else are we missing? Oh yeah, we got to do the launch key. So that's about it for the Launchpad. I'm going to go grab the launch key and start comparing that. So, oh, God, man, this can't trip. Sorry about that. So before I get into the launch key, I actually want to go ahead and talk a little bit about the connectivity methods and what cords they use. So basically, for the Launchpad, what comes is I believe it's a USB-B male cable to just a regular USB male, and this plugs into your computer and that plugs into your Launchpad, and the Launchpad port is just right on the bottom, right there, along with the Kensington lock. But I don't think anybody ever uses that. You don't need to lock your Launchpad. And then on the Launchkey, it's on the left side right there, and it just uses a standard micro USB, and then the Kensington lock is on this side. And the cable that comes with it is a green cable with the USB and then the micro USB. And the micro USB does allow unknown things such as cell phones to plug in. So yeah, you can go ahead and plug in your stuff if you need to. I wouldn't, but yeah. So the next thing I want to get talking to you about is the Launchkey. So the Launchkey is a real nice MIDI controller. I've been using it for 3 years now, and it's holding up. Nothing's broken, nothing doesn't work. Everything works. It does its job real nicely. You have these. First thing I want to get into is some of the features on it. So you have your track, right? So if you have something armed in, let me go ahead. Right, so the set is loaded up. If you wouldn't mind just holding there for a sec, I'm gonna set these preferences. So basically, the Launchkey on the track will basically allow you to switch, just like on the Launchpad, how you go left and right. That's basically how that works on the Launchkey. So it's a cool feature, and I like using that. So let me just go ahead and do that. So now I believe we should have. Alright, let me go ahead and turn this up for you. Oh, turn the water speakers on. There we go. Now we're going to really ramp up our game. Before you guys ask in the comments why one of these water speakers is different than the other one, see, is because one of the LEDs in this one died. It's missing a blue one, and it died. But that's alright, they still work. So, now basically, I'm going to go ahead and show you guys. So basically, I have a set loaded up from Ableton.com. It's called Kill the Robot. It was a set made from a track called Mini Me by some guy. I don't know. I'll leave the link in the description if you guys want to download it. It's a fun little set. So you have your little slider knob, which can control a lot. So you see I have my bass. So that's basically a slider knob. They're all programmable. Every single one of them can do different things. So I would do one as like a reverb, one could be delay, one could be like a cutoff, one could be like a limiter. It's just, I don't know, you can set them to whatever you'd like. And then you also have your like I said, you have your track right here. So if you have stuff right here, like stuff like this, but it's like playable over and over again, like MIDI, then you can just circle through your tracks and do that. And then your right here, the in control, basically you can do the same thing like on the Launchpad, where you can control different things. Where if you hold it down, you can circle through the list. I'll just keep it on one. And this basically allows you, if you take it out of in control, you can go ahead and use these sliders. You can use some of the keys. You can use the keys, you can use all that. And then you have your octave, so if I want to So, I don't know, my preference is set right, but that's alright. But, yeah, you guys get it. So, yeah, basically, let me just go ahead. Oh, that's why, because it's playing. Okay, I haven't been able to figure that one out. That's taking me a lot of research. Okay, so now you guys seen that, you can go ahead and do that. You can have your slider, different knobs. You can assign these different things. I made a couple videos on this already, but yeah, you have your keyboard. Nice keys. They are velocity sensitive, so that means the harder you hit them, the more noise it'll produce. You also have over here, you have these, which these buttons will basically trigger your whole scene. Like on the Launchpad, if you're not in the mixer mode and you press a, zoom all the way out, there we go, and you press something such as volume, it'll trigger the whole row. So if you have drums and melodies and notes and stuff, you just press that and it'll trigger the whole thing. And then like the other one, you can press that and it'll trigger the whole thing to stop. So yeah, both are real nice. Sorry, I would personally, with the work that I do, I would personally go with the Launchpad, just because what I do just doesn't, like, how I write my songs. I do it online. I do it like in FL Studio, not Ableton. So for me, it'd be kind of hard to play it out versus sound it out, if that makes sense. So other people could be different, you know, I respect that. So yeah, if you are like if you're a piano player and you are getting into Ableton and you want to do this, then I would definitely recommend this to you. But if you're like a new producer getting into it, I would definitely also recommend the Launchpad. This is over there. This thing runs you $50 and the Launchpad runs you about 120, so get saving, kids. But yeah, that's about it. Thank you guys for watching. Subscribe, comment, check out my SoundCloud, because I upload to that. I also thank you, Parker Dwyer, giving you multiple shout outs, but thank you very much for requesting this video. Hope you enjoyed it. I hope it was helpful for you. And if you leave me a comment telling me what your purpose is, which one you'd rather have, I'd really appreciate it. And if you need any help, just feel free to comment down in any of the videos that I check. So yeah, it goes for anybody. Go ahead and comment whatever you'd like to see. I also do DJing, like mix song crap. I do that too. So yeah, thank you guys for watching, and I hope you enjoyed this video. See you guys next time.